and welcome to Words of Wisdom. My name is Yvonne, and I'm a member of Wisdom Chapter number 25. And tonight we have as a special guest Janet. Words of Wisdom, Wisdom Chapter number 25. Our website is wisdomchapter25.org. We can be emailed at wisdomchapter25@hotmail.com. And by telephone, we can be reached at 773-932-9262. So, Janet, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Currently, I work with Wright, which is a mental health organization on the west side of Chicago, located at 9 South Kedzie. We service the west side communities, East and West Lawndale, Garfield Park, Austin, and Fifth City.
Okay, so as you know, tonight our show is going to be about homelessness. As many of you may know, our homelessness level is on the rise in the city of Chicago. As of 2015 census, there was an estimated 82,000 people who were homeless in the city of Chicago. With that, 44,000 of those people were family, which included children and older adults. So at your facility, how do you work with the homeless community?
One of the hardest ways to interact with a homeless person is trying to get them to come to you.
Okay.
So we go out to the corners, to the viaducts, wherever we can, and we reach out to them. We take food, clothes, and offer all of our services.
Okay, that's a good thing to do. Per the research that I did, it shows that there are many factors that contribute to homelessness. Name some of the reasons that you're finding that people are suffering from homelessness in 2018.
Substance abuse,
Okay.
the economy.
And I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that I researched is that out of all of the homeless people in the city of Chicago, more than 12% of those people actually are employed and have jobs to try to sustain and maintain their lives. What I'm going to show you now is some statistics that show exactly how much you need to make in order to be able to afford to live in the city of Chicago at this time. As you see, it shows that our minimum wage is $8.25. And for an average renter, you actually need to make approximately $16.32 an hour in order just to function. Because in order to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment, you have to make a minimum of $20.87 an hour just to comfortably afford a 2-bedroom apartment. So that actually shows that there is a lot of discrepancy between what we're making and what we can actually afford to live, because at $8.25 an hour, you need to work 85 hours a week in order to be able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. So with numbers like that, what do you think that we can do to better assist people out in our communities?
Wow. First, we have to listen to them.
Okay, that's a good point.
We got pop-up agencies all over the place. But if they're not providing the services that people actually feel that they need themselves, what's the point of them going to that place?
That makes a lot of good sense. What are some of the organizations that you would recommend to our viewers that they can possibly get real help for homelessness, hunger, things like that?
Definitely, I would, of course, say Bobby E. Wright.
Okay.
Inner Voice.
Okay.
Catholic Charities.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And for our homeless youth, Youth Empower. an old but new agency.
Okay, and how do they help our youth?
They're located in Fifth City. Everybody knows Fifth City. You went there, you partied at one point or another back in the days. Fifth City will be the home of the new Youth Empower program.
Okay. And what kind of services are they going to be offering?
The name of the organization is Youth in Power. The services that will be provided there will be designed by the youth.
Okay, so it's going to be a program that
Listens to our children.
okay, that's a new outlook on things. Um, as far as what our city needs, as we all know, homelessness is real. We've had councilmen sleep out in the cold to try to prove a point. We've had activists speaking about it, but now it's time to see what we can actually do about it. Um, our city needs a lot of support. We need to come up with ways that we can help our own because the problem is not going to go away, and we can't rely, unfortunately, on our government to fix the problems. A while back here, we were trying to do some good for the community known as Tent City. And unfortunately, we weren't able to provide the services that we wanted to provide because those people had unfortunately been uprooted. And if you're not familiar with Tent City, it was an area under the viaducts where people actually pitched tents and lived in those tents as if they had paid rent and this was their home. And that's, something that's really sad to see. I know during the holiday time, people rally together to feed and provide things for the communities, but this is a year-round situation, and we have to get away from just holiday giving, holiday support. We have to try to come up with ways where we can support our own communities 365 days a year. So with that being said, again, guys, you all are watching Words of Wisdom, Wisdom chapter number 25. Our website is wisdomchapter25.org, and our email is wisdomchapter25@hotmail.com, and our phone number is 773-932-9262. And the reason why I gave that information again right there is because on our website, beginning tomorrow, we will have places where you can sign up for whatever type of support that you're able to give. And at this time, I see that we have a caller. Hi, caller. Do you have a question or a comment?
Yes, and good evening, young ladies. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing
I just
wonderful.
want to make two quick comments. Well, listen, if you go through the city, you see a lot of buildings boarded up and whatnot, and they run people's property down. So I think they need to get in contact with the mortgage companies or the banks who are holding the deeds for their property. But again, I was always learned when I was younger, you don't wake up and say you want to be homeless, because you never know. It could happen to anyone. But you try to make sure it doesn't happen to you. That's why you got to learn to prepare and do things. I was truly blessed in my life. I have some property, income property, and I heard you stating that X amount of monies are very high. Well, let me tell you, number one, I'm going to take care of my tenants just like they are my relatives. You take care of my property, I'm going to take care of you. That's the way it goes. Water, if you got 14 holes, 14 apartments, you're paying a lot of money into your revenue. And especially if you get people that comes in, want to tear the place up. Now you got to send people in. You got to pay people to come in, have things repaired. That's why you get a management office. You let them take care of that. But yet and still, you have people that, I always tell tenants, take care of your property just like it's your own. That's the best thing I could say. Now, if you want to tear it up, then I ain't going to have time for you. It's time to get out. And I'm advise anyone, they got income property, give them for the first year, give them month-to-month lease That's what you want, month to month. Because, and even then, they going to still could beat the system on you, because they could go to court, and then you got to pay your attorney and all this, and here they going to still be in your property for another year maybe, and that's a year that you're not getting any money. So you look at both things. Thank God, let me knock on wood, that has never happened to me. But again, you learn to take care of things and do a background check deeply. That's why people now is asking for a bank account. Let me take your money out your bank. That's what goes on now. If you can't afford it, then you have to go somewhere else. And I don't want to be rude, but you have to understand, life is a business. And if you don't take care of your business, trust me, then you be homeless and you be looking in somebody's place to stay. But that first comment, think about that. That's a wonderful idea. And give them rakes and shovels, and they must keep the property kept up. And if they don't, well, then you're a victim. You evict them out. You give them a small little rent to pay, like your light, your gas, and your water, and they could live. That's a nice way to live. There are some people who really want to find a place to live in. Absolutely. And will try to do anything they can. And listen, I'm taking over this show. I don't want to do that. But let me just get out the air so I can hear your response. And thank you for taking the call. And have a great night and a safe night.
You as well, and thank you so much for calling. So to touch on a couple things that you said, I absolutely agree that there has to be a equal platform for renters and the person with the rental property, and everyone is not going to take care of your property, and that's what make it bad on those folks that are really, really, truly just needing a hand up. So yeah, that's why we have to ask for background check, criminal history, bank accounts, and things of that nature. And it's hard to say let's do this one by one individual basis, but in these times, that's how I believe that it should be done, because everyone is not the same. And with regards to all the abandoned property around the city of Chicago, I 100% am an advocate that if we can get the banks who own these properties to allow them to be in a position to be rehabbed, maybe give people who have certain job skills to do these things but are not fortunate enough to be employed, the opportunity to rehab these places and make them not so much to say low income places, but places for people who are transitioning. I think that would be a good resource as well.
Yeah, for the property owners out there, I definitely will recommend, when you're looking for tenants, reach out to some of your community agencies. We know a lot of people that are looking for housing, and we will definitely stand by our clients. We're not going to put them in your unit and then abandon them. Our job is to make sure that they grow and grow and grow. We want them to one day own your property. So there are a lot of good tenants out there. So reach out to the community agencies. That's what we're here for.
So one of the things that, okay, it looks like we have another caller coming in. Hi, do you have a question or a concern today?
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How you doing? You looking good on the TV tonight?
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. You're smiling. Makes the world go round.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I heard you speak a little bit earlier about those people that was up underneath the bridge and they made them all get out of there. Listen, there's plenty of money in this city, honey. It just don't go where it's supposed to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. If they would give these people another chance, they might be able to get back up on their feet. They might be able to find themselves a little job, but you got to start with a roof over your head somehow, some way. You know, we got a lot of donations coming to the city, and I was talking to earlier Mr. Danny Davis, and he was absolutely correct about how they building up all them little condominiums on the north side, south side. Once they took down them Cabrini Greens and everything,
yes.
people didn't have nowhere to
There we go.
Yes.
They should have rebuilt something similar to that.
Yes.
Instead, they go ahead and build them $500,000 condominiums, and that's what you call yuppies. Those are yuppies down there. I can't afford to live down there.
Yes, ma'am.
I live over here in
That was the
Chicago,
point.
but there's got to be a way for the money to go where it's got to go, either through the governor, either through the senator. Somebody got the money somewhere to help those people. It ain't like we are homeless. It's a handful of homeless. You can help a handful. You can't help the whole world, but you can help a handful. Get those people. Find them a little place to stay. Get that money going, circulating in Chicago. We are the highest paying taxes city in the United States. We even almost had to pay double for a damn soda pop. Where the money at?
It starts with us.
We got toll booths. We got everything. Spread that money around. Get those people up off the street because it's cold.
Thank you so much, caller. You have been enlightening with that one, and I agree with a lot of what you said. We have to funnel our resources back into our own communities. It's okay to save the whales and help Africa and everybody else. I get that 150%. But we have to help us as well. And when we're suffering, it makes it very disheartening to see us helping other people outside of ourselves. Going back to, it looks like we have another caller coming in. Caller, do you have a question or a concern?
I sure do. My name is Ray, and I want to say first-time watcher, great show.
Thank you.
I want to say
Thank you,
this.
Ray.
You were talking about abandoned buildings. Well, who abandoned them? The people that didn't take care of them.
Correct.
That's who abandoned them. If they had taken care of them, they'd have housing. Well, I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them people. I'm blaming the government. I'm blaming Rahm Emanuel and all these aldermen, just like the lady before me said. The money doesn't go in the right place. But yet, we go every time to vote, and we vote the same people in, and they do nothing for us. That's gone in Chicago all the time. I'm 69 years old. I'm going to be 70 years old in March. And
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
you know, and what gets to me is they give you a little welfare. They give you a little bit of money for light and gas. And then what? After that's gone, you're on your own. Why don't they have jobs for people? That's what we need. That's what the mayors should do. That's what the aldermen should do. But guess what? Oh, no. They ain't doing that. You know, you have all hundreds of millions of dollars of construction going on. Right now, not one Hispanic, which I am, and not one African-American construction company has anything to do with that. What they do have, a token worker every once in a while, and the mayor goes out there and cuts ribbons. He goes out there and cries every 3 months or so when a child gets killed. That's what he does. And that's all he's going to do because we voted the wrong people in. Come on, guys. We got to vote. People have died. I'm a veteran. Died.
Thank you for your service.
To vote right, please. That's all I have to say in a great show, like I said. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, and not getting off into politics, but I agree. But at this, in this day and time, I will say myself personally, I try to vote for whom I believe is the best candidate, and sometimes that just does not always work out because I can't get into the mind of what a person is really feeling. I go by what I believe their words will be honest and truthful, but
Mental illness is real.
yeah, it is. And some of our politicians, unfortunately, have real serious mental illness problems. But believe it or not, that's one of the reasons I believe some of the clients that you work with are in the situation they're in. Is that correct?
Yes, because it's such a stigma. people think mental illness is something unspoken, unheard of. Don't talk about it. Everyone suffers from mental illness,
Well,
be it depression or being bipolar. If you're not going to help, then one day you will be suffering too, and you will understand what the need was about.
Thank you so much, Janet. So I have a few items, a few places for help that you all will be able to reach out to. Again, it's going to be at Words of Wisdom, Wisdom chapter number 25. Our website is wisdomchapter25.org, and our email address is wisdomchapter25@hotmail.com. So and our phone number is 773-932-9262. If anything on tonight's show you need more clarification on, such as numbers for support, such as 311, we have numbers for suburban people who are suffering from homelessness or just need a hand up. Those numbers will be available on our website. Also, if you're someone who wants to support anything that you've heard tonight, such as
Youth empowerment.
Youth empowerment, our homeless situation, our hungry situation, there'll be a link on our website starting tomorrow where you will be able to provide any support that you're able or wanting to do. I appreciate you so much, Janet, for coming in and speaking with us tonight. It was lovely having you, and I appreciate our callers for calling in tonight and giving your feedback. It is very much appreciated and very much needed. We need to hear what each other have to say in order to get our city back where we want. Okay, we have one more caller calling in. Caller, do you have a question or a concern?
Yes, young ladies, I'm the one that called in earlier. I have a real good friend. He also has some property, income property, and he is nothing but a slum landlord. I particularly don't like the way that he take care of his people, but again, that's what he is. And there's plenty of other slum landlords here, but people do not go at it the right way. There's no way in the world. Why would you get in contact with him or her? You got places.
Sir, do you have a unit you want to provide support?
Pardon?
Do you have a unit you would like to provide someone with support on?
Well, you know, I'm traveling now between another state and back here. I lost my mother, and the only reason why I had to come back here because I took over the house there. But I have a management company. One day I just drop in and leave it there, and you could get in contact with them. But again, people need to get in contact with people that can make people do things. Make people do things. And if you do decide not to pay your rent, make sure you take your rent money, put it in a bank, and let them hold it, because they can't never put you out once that you got your money for your rent, but you need to complain. Listen, let me get out there, because I see you about to get out the show. This is a wonderful show, and I think you need to elaborate it a little bit more, because one thing for sure, everybody on God's green earth need a roof over their heads.
Absolutely.
Do not feel that you're better than somebody else, because you ain't but one paycheck away from being out in the streets. So again, y'all have a great day, a safe day, and let me get out there.
And thank you again so much for calling in, sir. Well, guys, that has been our show for today. We talked about a lot of things, our homelessness in particular. And again, our website, wisdomchapter25.org, you will be able to leave comments. There will be phone numbers and addresses of local resources and support units. We'll have Janet's information on there, so if you guys want to reach out to her, and of course our phone number and information is going to be on there as well. In case you just want to reach out, leave a comment, provide support. If you know of other resources that we can add to our website, that would be more than appreciated as well. So again, guys, you've been watching Words of Wisdom, Wisdom chapter number 25. Our website is wisdomchapter25.org. Our email address is wisdomchapter25@hotmail.com, and we can be reached by phone at 773-932-9262. Any final words, Janet, before we wrap up?
Youth empower.
So again, guys, we want to thank you so much for watching Words of Wisdom on this evening. We're here every second Wednesday of the month at 5:30 p.m. Tune in. We'll have various topics from homelessness to domestic violence,
Upcoming
health,
events.
yeah, upcoming events, health, and so thank you so much for joining us, and you all have a great evening.